Have you ever had 5 sisters fight over your hand in marriage in high school? Well, I sure as heck haven't, but that's what we're talking about today. Hey guys, I'm Kays, and today we will be taking a look at the hit high school romance, the Quintessential Quintuplets. And before people get on me now that this will just be another dress-up darling incident where I didn't finish it, for your knowledge, I actually did finish all of this. I watched season 1, season 2, the movie, and the honeymoon special. I might not talk about the movie and the honeymoon special as much, but I did watch them. Before we get into the actual video, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And if there's any other anime you want me to watch, comment down below. On a quick side note, I'm sorry for this being video out so late. I wanted it out a while ago, but as I was editing the video the first time through with the old voiceovers, I felt like it was really doing the show a disservice with bad commentary, so I went through, revised everything, the entire script, editing out of the original video, and redid it so I can make this video something I was proud of. We are introduced to our main character who's getting married today. And is he sleeping at his own wedding? Well, it must be pretty boring right now because the dude is now dreaming about his most memorable high school year. This is Futaro, our lonely main character, and per the usual anime main character trope, he's sitting by himself at lunch and he's so lonely. W reference. A little background on Futaro. He is a used-to-be bad boy who met a girl he liked in elementary school on a Kyoto trip. This caused him to change who he was, I guess, and start studying and be a better person and more formal. On a side note, his family is poor and is in debt. I think this isn't touched on a lot, but like his family is being tracked down by loan sharks, I guess. Through the school, he meets 5 of the quintuplets. But wait, he's tutoring not one, but all of them. One of the sisters, named Yotsuba, sees his test score and follows him around thinking he's a super genius, and she follows him into the guy's locker room. This is 100% like Horimiya. Later, Futaro goes to their house and makes his own descriptions of the girls, but we'll get into that later when I talk about each character individually. One of the other siblings, Nino, the cuckoo one, laced his drink with something, who knows what it could be. They send him home, and one of the other sisters that he actually met before all the others, Itsuki, went home with him, and Futaro's little sister, Raiha. I don't know why I think of the hit Dragon Ball Legends YouTuber Ryuden when I bring this girl up, invites them in for dinner, and Futaro's dad is super Kyosuke coded. I love it. I love all Kyosuke coded characters. We then go through little episodic arcs with Miku, Ichika, Yotsuba, Itsuki, and Nino. Futaro had the balls to call the Quint's dad Pops, got fired, the girls left their dad's house so Futaro could keep tutoring them. We find out that the girl that Futaro wanted to change himself for was one of the Quints, but we don't know which one of them it was. They have a whole arc at their grandpa's spa in which they all dress as Itsuki, and Futaro learns from their grandpa. He literally asks, "Gramps, teach me how to do this." And he learns somewhat how to tell the difference because they seem to dress like each other a lot. At the same time during this arc, one of them kissed him under the bell, which apparently there's like a big prophecy if someone kisses under the spa bell while it's ringing, they're destined to be together forever. And sadly, no, it is not Itsuki. It was actually, wait, you thought I was gonna tell you this early? Heck no! Don't worry, I'll have a whole section going over who he marries, my opinion on it, and clarification from what happened with it. Essentially, the sisters fight over Futaro. He chooses who he wants. We get a whole movie for clarification and why he chose said sister. Since a lot of people didn't seem to be very happy about it, I don't blame others though. We even got a honeymoon special that takes place in the United States, but to be honest, you could skip that and still understand everything I'm here to talk about. Before we get into the characters, I want to preface that these are going to be somewhat short descriptions and just a couple of scenes that I really liked from each character or remembered. Before I get a bunch of comments, yes, I know the Quints all actually have the same hair color, but for the sake of clarification, I will be using their hair color to differentiate them. Itsuki is the first Quint that Futaro met in high school. She sat at his table and argued with him about who got to the table first, and she wanted him to tutor her, and he refused, which led to later issues with her not letting him tutor her down the line. Itsuki is most notable for the stars in her hair, as well as, what would you even call it, bright red hair? Reminds me of they already have a color for light red. Pink!
It's like a lightish red. Guess what? They already have a color for lightish red. You know what it's called? Pink. hate you guys.
Probably my favorite Quint. I also feel like she enacted most of the interactions and probably had the most relationship development with Futaru. Later, when they all graduated, she met up with multiple of her mom's students and decided to become a teacher, just like her mom. My favorite scene with her is probably the time when Futaru is sick on the mountain and he figures out she was dressed as someone else and led her up on the ski lift and confronted her, and then he fell asleep. Ichika is an absolute slob. We get to see how messy her room is right at the beginning, and it is terrible. I don't think I could ever live in a room like that. She has a light pink hair color and is seen as the big sister of the entire group. She even takes up the responsibility of paying for their apartments when they leave for their dad's place for some time. Honestly, the big issue I have against her is how she played all sides. At some points, she tried to help Miku confess, but at others, for no known reason, she would dress up as Miku and tell Futaru Ichika loved him. Sorry, I made that really confusing probably. That's how this whole show was for some time, trying to differentiate all of them. The two moments I liked the most with Ichika was when they were on the camping trip and they got locked in the woodshed. I thought that was interesting. And the other time is when Ichika showed up to the bakery Futaru worked at and taste tested food for an ad, and if I remember correctly, she accidentally tried Futaru's food and she was at least able to hide that it wasn't made very good. Honestly, I don't know how to describe this. Yotsuba is the most forgettable and unforgettable character from this show, in my opinion. I personally feel she had the least amount of character development out with the sisters. You can easily recognize her from her orange hair and green tie that's in her hair. She's played off as the dumb but athletic character, and the one arc that I remember is her learning how to say no to the sports teams so she can study instead. Not saying that everything is bad about Yotsuba. I really enjoyed the scene where they scared others with Futaru during the camping trip. I also really like that she's been on Futaru's side and worked with him on most of the times she has. The other arc I actually just remembered is that she learns she can be smart in certain aspects. She can teach her sisters how to do certain subjects, which leans into the bigger idea at the end of the honeymoon, where all the Quints can help each other doing things they don't know how to do. And I honestly can't remember if or what she becomes after they graduate high school. Alright, I have to be very careful with what I say here because I have a friend that really likes Miku and desperately thinks she should have won. First, I'll start with how she likes old dudes. And no, I'm not joking, she seriously even admits it. She even says she's the weird one and I like old hairy dudes from history. You'll most likely recognize her from a couple of things. First, her headphones, her long brown hair, and you'll most likely recognize her from the frame that she realizes she's lost. She is an absolute terrible cook. I don't think I can express how many cooking challenges she's gotten in and has whiffed terribly. But later she gets a job at a bakery across the street from Futaru and Nino's bakery where they work. And she learns how to cook better. She is also a #1 Futaru pleaser. She is super shy and is actually the first Quint to admit that she is falling in love with Futaru. When we get to the movie, we get to see that she co-owns a bakery with Nino and mostly deals with the customers. The most memorable moments with Miku for me was the part where Futaru spent the night at their house and she got in bed with him. And the time where Futaru and Miku were dressed as samurais when he was convincing her to let him tutor her. Nino is the crazy sibling out of all of them. I'm sorry to say it, she is. I really don't know what character type you label her as. I hear all the jokes, and maybe whatever that one is, a tsundere, whatever that means. To tell her apart, she has fairly long hair, and it's bright pink, but she does cut it off later, and she has a bunch of butterfly stuff to allude to her social butterfly aspect. She drugged Futaru multiple times. First time was pretty soon when they wanted him to leave the house, but he wanted them to study, so she drugged his drink and sent him home. The second time was Futaru went through a whole development where she thought he was his cousin, air quotes, because Futaru told her this because she saw the photo of him in elementary school and she said the dude was her type. He played it off that it was his cousin one time, and she was moving like Detective Dokes and figured out he was lying. Drugged his drink again. My question is, what would she have done if that was actually Futaru's cousin and not Futaru? She also got a job where Futaru works because she was a really good cook. She confessed to him multiple times and he just didn't care, I guess. For memorable moments, I always think of the bike scene, just because of the scenery of the city when she gets on the bike with him. And if I'm being truthful, when she confesses at work, I think I saw it on a TikTok edit, and I think it's one of the prime reasons I started watching the show. Futaro is our main character, and compared to other romance protagonists, there's really not much to say. Generic study dude that pulls no girls and then drastically pulls the cutest girls in the whole school. But hey, he had the balls to call Maru Nakano Pops. I don't think I would ever have the balls to do that. And tell him to act like an actual father. I found that really crazy. To add, Futaro caused Maida and his wife to get together, which I absolutely loved Maida. I thought he was really funny. And the blonde, shiny dude was really funny. I don't know what he became after high school. I know he went to college and he learned English. And I know I am not tweaking. I swear his eyes changed colors between seasons. Editor me, please put up 2 different photos of Futaro so I can actually know this. This section is just going to be my opinion and take on the show and the ending as a whole, and it'll have some extra stuff thrown in there that I didn't really feel like putting in its own section because I didn't have enough to say about it. Honestly, I used to despise Maru Nakano, but looking back on it, I mischaracterized him very badly. In reality, he's just a dude that was extremely hurt by the loss of his wife. I mean, look at the pictures of him before and after. Yeah, physically, he doesn't look all that much different. He still looks like Orochimaru, but emotionally, you can see like color in his eyes when he's talking to his wife. I also found it really funny that Maru and Isanari, yes, this is my first time ever knowing Futaru's dad's name, had a common enemy, which was the bio father of the Quints. I found it really funny that Maru and Isanari were both students of the Quint's mom, so this we can finally put to rest. Maru 100% likes older women, and this show is proof of it. Mundane Man, yes, the Mundane Man from the Eminence in Shadow shows up and is a goat. He showed up almost everywhere after we were introduced to him. He showed up to the school festival, the wedding. Sadly, there's not too much to say here. He was just a great boss and a cool insert, and I find it really funny when characters look like Mundane Men. So, out of nowhere, Yotsuba is the winner. She marries Futaro, and originally I didn't really understand it, but after watching the movie it adds a lot of clarification. Futaro wanted someone that wasn't only him pushing it, he wanted someone who would push him as well, which Yotsuba did this in most cases more than anyone else. Yeah, she didn't have as much development from the beginning, but she was on his side in all reality. It was predestined since he wanted the Quint that he met back in Kyoto. The wedding was cool, and I really enjoyed the movie overall. I'm really happy Futaro got to play the quintuplet game again and absolutely dominated it. The honeymoon special was okay. I guess I really like how by the end of it they came to the realization that yes, they're there for each other, but at some point they have to do stuff themselves and stop shying away from their own issues. Overall, I really liked the show, and it's most likely in my new top 10 shows right now. Lesson of the day: we will never have 5 sisters trying to fight for our hand in marriage all at once. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I'm sorry for how long this took, but I wanted actual love put into this video, not just shoddy commentary explaining how the episodes went. Fun fact, that's actually the exact reason that the Angel Next Door video got scrapped. Yes, I watched the Angel Next Door, I had a script all typed up, I voiced over it, and I didn't like it and scrapped the whole project. But that's a conversation for another time. Thank you for watching this far, and if you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button. Hopefully I see you in the next video. Later, guys.